Hey, what's up guys? DrFeelGood here, back again with another video prescription. And today I want to talk about, or rather address, the recent bitching about the Nintendo Switch having only 32 gigabytes of onboard memory. A lot of people I've seen are saying that it's 2017. We have mobile devices that come with 256 gigabytes on board and they're much smaller than the Switch. I've heard people say the Wii U had 32 gigabytes. How can they not add more storage? I've heard them compare it to the Xbox One and the PS4 having, standard half a terabyte. People, I need you to shut the hell up. Let me tell you a few things and let's be objective. I know people that own PS4s and Xbox Ones and they're the 500 gigabyte models, okay? They're bitching because that thing only holds roughly about 10 games for them because all the games have to be installed. See, if the Nintendo Switch requires you to install all your games, then yes, I will say you are justified. You really are. You are justified. But the Wii U didn't require installs. And I know some of you may say, well, Xenoblade Chronicles X did. No, it didn't. They gave you the option to do the data packs to make load times better and to take the strain off the system, but it can actually still run the game directly off the disc, all 26 gigabytes, I believe. Yeah, that game could be ran off the disc. You hear your disk drive going crazy, but it can actually be done. But the 10 gigabytes of data patches just made the game have less load times, which it really only loaded one time. That's when you went from the open world to the actual city, which is New Los Angeles. But that's it. Their games did not require installs. I think only maybe a few games, less than a handful, required patches. So there's a reason why the Wii U only had 32 gigabytes, because even the games such as Super Mario 3D World, which had 4K textures. Now, it wasn't 4K gameplay. It wasn't built from the ground up in 4K, but the game did have 4K textures. That game was less than 3 gigabytes in size when you purchase it digitally. 3 gigabytes. That game is huge. I think Mario Kart 8 was only about 8.5 gigabytes. For all those tracks, those characters, all that, about 8.5 gigabytes if you were to purchase it digitally. Splatoon, I believe, was 2 gigabytes. Nintendo, they are the masters of compression. Iwata taught them this. He's the reason we had Pokemon, Gold and Silver, and it all fit into one cart. So, back to the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo actually optimizes their games, people. They optimize their games, and they optimize their hardware. So they don't need 500 gigabytes just to function normally. They don't need that. My Wii U has over a dozen games on it and it's still not full. That little 32 gigabytes. Now I do have a 128 gigabyte flash drive in it as well, just for backup, but it didn't need it. It really didn't. The only large games the Wii U had as far as file size were typically third-party games, but Nintendo games were small as shit. Look them up. Seriously, take the time to go look them up yourself and see what the install sizes were of most of their games. The largest one is actually Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm just saying. And for that game to be bigger than The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Xenoblade Chronicles, is larger than all those games put together. And it takes up a measly 26 gigabytes? Huh. And you got games like The Witcher requiring 50 out the gate. 50 gigabytes. Put that into perspective. A 720p 30 frames per second locked game with the largest open world ever seen in a video game is less than half the size of The Witcher 3 in terms of data file. Come on now, that's amazing. So that's why I believe that's one of the reasons why they stuck with 32 gigabytes. But two, they have crammed both a Wii U, a Wiimote Plus, two of them, a gamepad, and a 3DS XL, all down to the size of a small ass tablet. They have combined both these consoles and all these accessories down to the into a compressed small tablet. I mean, they probably didn't have enough space to accommodate more memory than that. And you may be thinking, well, look at the micro SD cards. As small as they are, the 32 gigabytes is the same size as 64, but you don't know exactly how much space they had in this thing because it is indeed the console. As they have confirmed, the tablet itself is the console. It's the entire console. There is no, when you play it docked, it's more powerful than undocked. It's none of that. No, it is the console. Plain and simple. So, I need you guys to stop bitching about the memory saying it should have came with this. I agree with you. I would have loved for it to come with more, just in case. Maybe 64 gigabytes. I was actually wishing and hoping that it would come with 128 gigabytes. To me, that would have been perfect. But they confirmed out the gate, as they did with the Wii U, that it will support micro SD cards up to 2 terabytes in size. And external hard drives can be used on, with it. It supports both. So stop your bitching. You're bitching because it didn't come with that amount of memory built in, but it is optional. See, that's Nintendo. They're giving you the option to do it. The PS4 to this day still does not support external hard drives. And you guys are happy with that. I didn't see any public outcry, or I haven't heard anything about Sony addressing the outraged fans that 3 years later the PS4 still does not allow the use of external hard drives. The Xbox One does. And some of you may be saying, well, at least with my PS4 I can swap out the hard drives. All right, with the Nintendo Switch I can swap in a memory card. Up to 2 terabytes. And I think changing memory cards is a hell of a lot easier than swapping out hard drives, and cheaper. Yeah, I can go buy a 128 gigabyte micro SD card. It probably costs about $50 or whatever, but they're always on sale. But even still, that's less clunky than an external hard drive. Who wants to? Let's say you're one of the people that you're gonna take this thing on the go with you. You really want to drag around a hard drive, a clunky hard drive with your tablet screen. I don't see anyone with a damn external hard drive plugged into their iPad or their Android tablet or their phone. No, to keep it very sleek and very convenient, they just either give it a lot of onboard memory or they allow the use of memory cards. It's not backwards thinking not to have large hard drives built in. And then I also hear some people talking about They have mobile devices out there that have this, that have way more memory than on board. Yeah, very few come with that more than that on board. Because even the recent HTC phones, HTC Ones, and Galaxy phones, they give you options for like 32 gigabyte and 64 gigabyte. That's it. And the only reason they jumped the gun on their file size offerings because the recent iterations did not allow you to use external memory. I noticed because my wife loved the Galaxy Note line, and the first 3 phones allowed you to use an additional SD card, micro SD. But then when it had the Note Edge, you could not remove the battery and you could not use additional memory. So they had to offer you a 64 gigabyte model just for those that are a little bit more data hungry. But that's it. Same thing goes for iPhones. You couldn't add additional memory, so they had to offer you larger sizes. But you're not playing a full console game on an iPhone or an iPad. You're not playing a full third-party AAA title game on an Android phone or tablet. You're not. You're playing Endless Runners, Candy Crush, and Angry Birds. Let's be real about it. Those games do not have AI, not advanced AI anyway. They don't. You're not playing World of Warcraft on those devices. You're not doing that. So that's why they can have a lot of memory, because they don't have much of anything else that does any type of additional processing. They don't require a whole bunch of assets to be running in the background. Consoles do. Do you see someone playing World of Warcraft on a tablet? No? You see Hearthstone. That's it. Or, I can't believe you people are bitching about this when they're giving you the option to expand it in your way at your own cost. See, when they have shit built in, you can't determine the cost. You have to just wait for a sale. But giving you the ability to put in your own SD card, micro SD card, and you choose the size based on your own needs, that means you choose the cost. Giving you the ability to add an external hard drive and plug it in, you choose the size, and with that you can choose the cost. One person may say, I'm buying all my games digitally, so I need 2 terabytes. Okay, you can go buy a 2 terabyte micro SD card, you can go buy a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's up to you. A person like me, I buy all my games physical if they offer a physical version. So I may choose to buy simply a 64 or 128 gigabyte micro SD card. It's that simple. So look at things objectively. Just because it's not built in does not mean you have the right to bitch. You have the option to buy however much you want based on your own current gaming habits and or needs. So shut the hell up. Understand you have the option to do it. You always want to bitch about options. Well, you have them. Stop bitching. Anyway, this is DrFeelGood, and as I always say, keep it gaming.